Have you tried your iPad?
Nah. What am I? Is everything?
Nah, you freezing, bro.
This shit is
Ladies
just.
and
This shit is
gentlemen,
just.
we apologize for the technical difficulties.
Yo, do me a favor.
Andrea say you in the Matrix.
Yes.
You're right, Andrea. He's in the Matrix.
He's stuck.
Come on out.
He like Neo in the damn train station. He can't get out.
Yeah.
I'm doing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, that's fine. You're coming in great.
Yeah, I'm coming in great for now till these shit fuck up again. I grabbed the iPad.
Yeah, we got to go find the train conductor. What his name was? The train conductor, the guy. We got to get him out. Get you out of here.
What was his name? I didn't think about his name.
Y'all know.
They called him the train man. That's it, train man.
And I also want to give a huge shout out now to Reign Supreme for the shirt. That's where I got the shirt from.
Okay, what did the back say?
I don't know. Y'all gotta hold up.
You don't know what the back say?
Yeah, let's see.
Can y'all read it?
You stay safe. I'll stay free.
Stand up. You stay compliant.
I'll stay defiant. You say Baha. Oh, okay. I'll say nah. Okay. Dope.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty interesting.
I like it.
I mean, y'all know I don't care. And like I said, huge shout out to Knowledge Reign Supreme. Just in general, we got a lot of love even with the people in the room right now, and we definitely appreciate it.
For sure. So I mean, I don't do we want to we want to finish the verses? Did we jump on that enough or?
Yeah, I think we did. I mean, I was inviting somebody to come on and talk about it, somebody who actually seen it, because I didn't get a chance to see it, and I feel like I missed something because again, it's two of my favorite groups, but we can move forward. I just wanted to make mention of that for current events, for entertainment, because that was a big thing. They were really pushing that on social media for people to watch.
You can check it out on YouTube. They got the full thing on YouTube.
Awesome. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. What else going on in the news, guys? Anybody out there got any questions? Anything y'all want us to touch on? Shoot it in the chat. We'll touch on it. Any questions? Anything y'all want us to touch on that we hadn't touched on already? So for the political corner of today's show, so how many of y'all voted for Biden? How many of y'all was riding for Biden? I'm voting for Biden to get Trump out, all this kind of stuff. How many of y'all thought that it was going to be different? Show of hands. Go ahead. Raise your hand, Jay. Raise your hand. No, raise your hand too. You voted for Biden. You thought you wanted it to be different, but he said
I just wanted to Trump the hell out.
He said nothing, and this is a quote, direct quote from him. Nothing will fundamentally change. So Biden fills immigration court with Trump hires. So all the people that Trump was appointing to these immigration courts, now Biden is hiring the same people. Now, are we gonna talk about him? Is he gonna get any backlash from the left?
Possibly, but I can tell you what he just recently did. He shut down all the works to that wall, and he's returning that funding back to the Pentagon.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
When you gonna have to put that article in the chat.
That was actually over the weekend. I seen it on the news. I was like, oh, he's shutting it all down, and they're returning those funds back to the Pentagon, to the Defense Department. And in addition to that, he's also revving up to start sending the states, like the local government, relief packages. Did you see that?
Oh.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Look it up.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up.
Because the question now actually is very much entangled in what you're talking about. Now they're saying, okay, if they're not going to continue to fund that particular project for the wall, well, what's going to happen, with the current situation? And that's the big question. Like, okay, so what now as far as immigration and, the families that's been split up, this, that, and the third. It was an abrupt thing that happened. But to me, I think they were setting up for it the entire time. When he started like his first 100 days, I got a feeling that this was something that was on the agenda, but other things needed to be addressed. And they didn't just stop, when it comes to politics, timing is everything. Know that. Timing is everything. So to me, in order for this administration not to appear like they're literally stopping every single thing or halting every single thing that 45 put in place, they needed to do it in a certain time period. And as of this weekend, I'm telling you, they're no longer funding the wall in that regard, and they're returning those funds back to the Defense Department in addition to funding state and local government.
But funding and stopping the building of it is not the same thing, though. All he's doing is taking the funds and redirecting them somewhere else, but that doesn't mean that it's going to stop. So
what happens when you stop funding a certain project?
Well, when you stop funding it from that source. What he's saying is, and I'm reading it, say he's going to stop using taxpayers' dollars to fund it. So, but that wall is still going to get created.
Yeah, but can I tell you, it is not going to get created in the time period and at the rate that it was getting created. They're always doing something to maintenance the borders. It's always going to be something going on for the borders. But what 45 did was actually put our tax dollars into the funding of this great wall that's supposed to control immigration and control all of our border issues, when in fact it didn't. His entire presidency, it never did. It created more issues than anything. And as a taxpayer, I want to put my money in something that I know is gonna.
So this is the question: do you think the wall should be built?
I'll be honest with you. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's a waste of time because people are gonna find ways to get people out of that country and into this country at any means necessary. I don't think that we should put funding into building a wall, because the wall technically is, to me, I don't think it's going to stop anything. It may slow things down, but I don't think it'll stop anything. Think about it, man. Think about how, I've seen documentaries where, they have built and maintained tunnels, and these tunnels have technology in them. Tunnels. So while you're doing what you're doing above ground, you got people out there thinking and doing other things, and things are happening underground. And then things are happening on the road as far as crossing the border. So, I mean, do you think the wall is necessary? Do you think the wall can control anything?
No, I think the wall is a distraction. The wall, all the walls is a distraction, because if you look at what he's actually doing, so his policies are allowing so from what he said, 11 million immigrants are going to be flooded into these different states, right? So the question is, why would you even continue to build the wall if you're going to let them in anyway? So,
and that's once you stop funding something, I really don't foresee that as a continuation of what they're doing. I see it as a halt, because if you can't get the funding, for material, for people, all that you need for the people that's actually doing the work, And then this is what I also found out. They're putting money back into education. To me, that's where it needs to be anyway. And maybe I'm a little biased, of course. Y'all know I work at a college, but that's, to me, that's where it should be. You actually mentioned in one of the previous shows, that they were continuing building the wall. And then now, let's fast forward a couple months later, and I always felt like that, like, dang, like, are they really going to continue this? They're not. They're going to stop funding it. Now, like you said, they may not stop the building of it or the whatever, but when something is not funded, what that usually means, and I've been in a long-term, short-term contract as a contractor, once something is no longer funded, that means no one can get paid the money that they set aside for the funding.
Right.
And when you take that money out, how can they actually continue it to completion? They can't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll just follow this story and see how it unfolds, because, when I initially started talking about this, because I read an article about them kicking people out of their homes to keep creating the wall, which that was true. So just, fast forward maybe a couple of weeks later, now we hearing news that they're going to stop. So I don't know. It's something going on with that. So we'll just see how it unfolds.
Yeah, Chi just commented that it'll be built during the election year when he wants votes and attention. This is what I love about our unplugged individuals. You get it. You get it. Right now, we're sending out relief packages to state and local government. Needless to say, us as taxpayers, why continue this project? We need money. We need to stimulate money in the economy. And the only way to do that is put money in people's pockets. Get us back into the spending. Get businesses going so that you can hire people that got these expensive educations. You know what I'm saying? All these loans or whatever. Like, we need to really start thinking about, to me, building from the ground up again, as far as our economy is concerned after COVID.
But my whole question is, and people say, well, it's, why are you so against immigration? I'm like, I'm not against immigration. If it's done properly, if you go through the proper channels and get it done, and you're over here how you're supposed to be. But how are you bringing in all these people, and we got one of the biggest homeless populations in the world? Yeah. So how are we bringing more people into a place that's already supposedly overpopulated and got a homeless population that's like a third world country? So yeah, I just don't understand the thought process, but behind that. But
well, I can agree with Deeply. Deeply says being against illegal immigration. I am against illegal immigration, and technically, I think that's what the wall is supposed to prevent. But I just don't think that you can. I mean, come on, people are, it's sort of like in IT. You got hackers that don't get sleep trying to figure out how to infiltrate systems. But so it's like if you're in a country, and that country is not treating you a certain way, and you need to, you feel like America is a great place. I mean, we're popular for that. We're land of the free, home of the brave. So you're trying to get into this country. You're going to be very inventive, generationally. You know what I mean? So they're going to find new ways to do stuff. To me, that wall ain't going to stop. It's not going to stop anything. It's a distraction in a bit, and it is a waste of our tax dollars. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Well, our tax dollars getting wasted on a whole lot of other shit too. Sure. But I mean, hell, if you want to be honest about it, the ones who really mad about fucking illegal immigrants, hell, the illegal immigrants were the fucking Europeans that came over here and slaughtered the fucking natives. If you want to be technical about
they're the people. Yeah, they ran this country. They run this country.
So, whatever.
Fool, you back with us, huh?
Probably for 2 seconds. Well, you kicked me off again. Oh, can y'all hear
me? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yes, I don't miss everything.
Yeah.
Not really. We were just talking about, of course, we were in the politicking corner. I know. What do you call it? The political corner?
Political corner.
We were in the political corner for a little while.
Yeah. But the hologram doing something new?
He always, they let him out to say, certain stuff. But anybody,
the lizard man.
Anybody else got something in the chat? Anybody else? Any questions? Anything y'all want to know? Y'all want to talk to us about? Talk to us. We don't really have a big topic today, so we just freestyling today.
Yes, we are. I like it. I kind of like the freestyle thing.
We going off the top, like we in the booth. Yeah, spit a verse.
Okay.
Hey, spit a verse.
I don't do that.
I know I can't rhyme. I
cannot rhyme, bro. I get real lame when it comes to that. I say stuff like little nursery school rhymes or whatever. I'm not good at that. I know my strengths and weaknesses, and that is a weakness.
Well, let's see.
We could man, read the article about homeboy from the Golden State Warriors. We definitely could touch on that.
Oh, word.
What?
So, hold on. Let me
the Golden State Warriors. Oh, you're talking about Steph Curry? Is that the Golden?
No, it was one of the Damian Lee. So y'all remember maybe a week or so? No, it's probably been about a month now. ESPN, and you seen all these commercials for the jab. They trying to get you to do the jab and all this kind of stuff. So ESPN had the full court press. They had all their analysts talking about it and all this shit, right? So, and then they came out with these incentives for the teams to do it and the players to do it. Where you don't have to wear your mask, you don't have to get tested as much. You can have gatherings and all this kind of stuff. To as long as you get the jab. So this guy got the jab and then got tested positive. Now, you don't hear shit on ESPN about, such and such, nothing. So it's like, and we try to, not have every show be talking about it, but you can't help it. You can't help it because this is the world we in. If this is what they want it to be, they want this to be our new normal. Damn it, this is what we on there talk about. At least a little bit, a portion of it. And this is something that I think should be talked about. And I think ESPN is real negligent in not talking about it because you're not telling all the other players.
They can't talk about it because it goes against that particular agenda to get people. And this is what I heard lately. Now the push is for people who are unVIDA, the non-jabbers. Right. So the campaign that we're going to see now for the next few months is to pull that number up to a higher percentage of non-VIDA people.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect them not to report it.
Can y'all hear me? Or am I still delayed or whatever?
You're good.
Delayed, but we can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Maine hit it on the head. The fact that they can have fraud sheet on ESPN, they can constantly be pushing it and everything like that. But then they always want to come up with these new hashtags, these new names, and breakthrough cases and all the other bullshit. We all know that is bullshit. And on top of that, if I'm not mistaken, in the article, I think he took the Johnson & Johnson one too. So it also shows how clueless you really are by even taking that. So, like, the way that they're doing it is very strategic. But what I can say, I firmly believe there are way more people not taking it than they're saying, without a doubt. Because when you have conversations with people, they be like, nah, I ain't fucking with that shit. Hell no, I ain't fucking with that shit. But when you look at TV, they make it seem like all these people are lining up. And in actuality, that's not true. So it's messing up it's messing up what they want to do. Now, am I going to sit here and say that it's still not pushing what they want to do? No, I would never say that. But I just don't like the fact, and I've always said the same thing. I don't like the fact that they aren't being transparent and they're fucking lying. They're blatantly lying about shit, and it's just not fair. And to me, it's scary, especially when you start thinking about these older people, because it literally is older people. They're the ones that are usually stuck in the house watching TV. But because they did what they did with this damn quarantine, whatever the hell you want to call it, people staying in the house, everybody was watching TV. You had a lot of people. You have more people watching TV than more people who turned the TV off. Because I know for me, I couldn't do it. I got sick of that shit. I got sick of, man, who cares? You talk about the same shit. Fuck them. And they don't, but they love people in the head with a, like they want to beat a dead horse. Now, what I will tell y'all is this. There was an HBO skit, and they actually called out Tariq Nasir, yo. It's about to be a war.
Oh, yeah. Why they called him out? Because
somebody did it. It's not even about, they just said his name in the skit, and it was some light-skinned chick who she had a long African name, and she was interviewing Gabrielle Union. So if you did that, you put that there, Tariq Nasir get ready to go in. I can't wait for this shit.
Yeah, I mean,
and if Gabrielle Union says something, go ahead.
Well, you know, me and you, we spoke earlier, and it's just disheartening how they use our people against us. Like you like I saw a commercial with Spike Lee the other day. It's an Uber commercial, I think. We in the hood trying to get, make sure people can get the V and all this kind of shit like that. Jalen Rose in Detroit this past weekend in the hood trying to get people to do it. So it's like, are y'all getting paid? For sure, y'all getting paid. So my question is, we've always so-called urban areas has always been disenfranchised. I think we all can agree to that. Always disenfranchised. I mean, we can talk about redlining, how redlining still goes on in our neighborhoods. You can't go get a small business loan. You can't go get this from the government. You can't get shit from the government. But now all of a sudden, the government has something for you because they care about you. So, I mean, two things it doesn't add up to me. So that's what, I just start, it started pissing me off because I'm like, now all of a sudden y'all give a fuck about our health, but we got fucking damn liquor stores and damn near in every fucking damn neighborhood. You got a fucking McDonald's damn near every fucking damn neighborhood. You can't get no fucking damn healthy foods in the fucking damn so-called urban areas. But now all of a sudden y'all give a fuck about our the health in these disenfranchised neighborhoods. I mean, it just don't fucking add up. And for people not to understand and see that and be like, wait a minute, hold up. I just went and tried to get a loan or tried to do this or whatever to try to better my situation. And y'all said, fuck me. But now y'all just saying, hey, this is here to help you. And we just falling for it. And they using our celebrities because they know we idolize these motherfuckers so damn much. They using them to push this fucking damn agenda. And it ain't fucking damn right. They use them to push all kind of fucking agendas. But this is just the latest one.
Yeah, and I kind of want to raise the topic
I would say
that Chris brought up in the chat. He wanted us to speak on about,
can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm. We can hear you. It's a bit of a delay, but we can hear you.
That's Tanya. That's Tanya that said that, and that she's talking about the story of the 9 kids. But it's a lot of depth that they aren't talking about. But what I was going to mention was somebody said something recently, and I really think we need to live by this mantra. This dude said, "I believe in science, not scientists." A powerful statement to make that more of us need to live by that mantra. Who out here always want to claim doctors and all that, but science is science. And to me, if you want to go by what the numbers are supposedly saying, as a 99% plus recovery rate, why do you need to shoot something in your body that doesn't actually do anything to help you?
You know,
doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But I see. To me,
I don't care what anybody says. That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense by any means. And like,
go ahead, Jay. I think
it went out again. No, yeah. I was going to say that to me, I see the V as a preventative measure. I do not see it as a solution. Preventative measure meaning, for example, H1N1. That's when they introduced the flu V, and they didn't make that required. It was nothing that where you got to show that you've done it, this, that, and the third. It was a preventative measure. I'm okay with preventative measures as long as the FDA has approved it and there's been X amount of time for trial period. And this is something, and I brought this up to you earlier, May 1, when I was talking to one of my girlfriends, my bestie, who works in a hospital. And if somebody works in a hospital, that's why I'm great with that statement. I believe in the science, not the scientists, because everyone knows, case studies takes time. It takes time. And when you don't be transparent enough to put, the good and the bad in the news all at the same time, then you're doing us a disservice. Right. You are keeping people from making rational thoughts. What you're doing with these concerts, free donuts, free beers, free this, free that, just to get something into someone's body, to me, you're taking away their rationalization, because it's kind of like dangling that little silver thing in my face or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Please. I mean, yes, I want to get back to a norm. I really do. I want to be able to, like before COVID, I can go see my family, see my kids, see my grandkids, see me, hug people. I want to get back to that norm too. But at what cost? Mm-hmm. When something like this happened, it sat me down. It sat down a lot of people. But what I'm not going to do is be the first person on this train of an experiment.
Right.
This is an experiment. I don't care how you slice that bread. When you go in there, when you sit down, the first thing you get is a form that says, this is something you're signing away, your rights, your this and your that to it. And to me, it's not right. So it's a preventative measure. It is not a solution. And that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm just not ready. I'm not saying I would never. I've said this before in other shows. I'm not saying I would never do it. But what I'm saying is, I want to make a rational decision. And that rational decision is based on the science. I need to see exactly what's going on. And I want the media to be transparent.
Yeah. But and what you're saying about preventative is, and that doesn't even make sense, because it's not even a preventative thing. So what is it? Because if I can still get it, if I can still pass it, then what is it truly preventing?
When I say preventative, I want you to think of this. Women get pap smears and mammograms. Y'all get your this and your that as a preventative measure to see what is going on and where you are. That's not to say you ain't gonna get it. You have women that get mammograms all the time, and then down the line something happens. That's not to say you're not gonna get it. But what happens is it keeps you, from not knowing. And and you can be reactive to it. It's an early sign. It's something that, it's like the H1N1 flu. That a lot of people still got the flu even after that. They still got it. But it was an approved preventative measure for control, for disease control. Mm-hmm. That's what I mean by preventative.
So and Deeply makes a good point. I think this is Michelle, but I don't want to say it. Anyway, she makes a good point. and we've been saying this the whole time, then why are they pushing it like it's almost like you selling something to me. So if something is so good for me, if let's say this orange juice is supposed to be so good for you, you got to get your vitamin C, blah blah blah. You're gonna see sales, you're gonna see advertisements for orange juice and all this kind of stuff. If it wasn't good for you, would you see advertisement of orange juice?
You probably would. You see advertisement for stuff like beer and cigarettes.
Exactly. That's my point. So the way they're selling it is like they're selling you something. It's like, hey, come on, get this. Come on. I mean, come on. When we ever seen billboards of shit? Again, I'm gonna go back to the point. One of the most contagious disease that we have not yet found the cure for or a fucking damn vaccine for that kills more people every fucking damn year, TB. They just stopped making a fucking vaccine for it. They was like, we can't get it. Fuck it. We're gonna shelf it. But it's still killing motherfuckers, and you don't see no billboards, no commercials, you don't see no telethons, you don't see no athletes, entertainers saying, hey, we need to, so why is it why is it the C-19? This is my thing. What is it about the C-19 that's making this happen? Because it's not like this is new. It's been around for decades. Look at your fucking damn Lysol can. It says it kills the coronavirus. It don't say what strand of the coronavirus. It just says it kills the coronavirus. So it's been around. So what is it about this strand, C-19, that is making all this happen?
Personally, I think it's how it collectively hit all areas of the U.S. And again, I do believe in disease control. That's my only rational response.
But the question is, how did it hit this whole place so fast? It had to be something in the fucking air. If everybody was getting, it had to be something in the air.
Airborne. So airborne diseases, you should fear. Fear airborne diseases.
So now we done got an airborne disease, right? So we done put this in the atmosphere. Everybody gonna get it. So I'm creating the problem. I got the solution. Why was this solution created? That's where my mind go. Why is this solution created? We created the problem. I created the problem so you can beg for this solution I got. Now this solution could be some poisonous ass. You don't know what it is, but you just so fucked up on this problem I created. You gonna beg to fucking damn take it, and you're not gonna ask why I'm taking it or what's in it.
Again, that takes me back to my last statements. With the way they're pushing the agenda, you're taking people's God-given right to be rational in their decisions. Be rational. Be transparent in the media. Go ahead, Fu. You there? Can you hear us?
Y'all can y'all hear me, or am I super delayed again?
You good?
You're a little delayed, I think, but go ahead.
Make it quick. Talk fast.
And don't say those certain words.
Okay. Did y'all see the video of the lady who got the shot and she's got a magnet on her arm stuck to exactly where she got the shot, and she put on her other arm and it didn't stay on her arm? Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
Well, wait, say that again. I didn't hear it clearly. What did you say?
So it's this woman who has a video of where she got the jab at. She stuck, I guess it was a coin or something, a magnet, and it stuck to her arm like a fucking magnet where she got the jab. Put it to the other arm, falls right off.
No, magnet.
Oh, it was a magnet. It was a magnet. So it was a magnet she had, stuck it to the place spot where she got the jab, stuck there. She moving the arm, it's in place, put it on the other arm, fell off.
Look, first of all, in order for me to believe certain things, I need to be sitting there with you. I mean, people, they can do anything. I'm not saying it's not true. Don't y'all jump on me yet. But all I'm saying is people do a lot of things for attention. So just know that. Because I'm telling you now, I know a lot of people around me, and now I'm not to start carrying a magnet in my bag and see what happens.
I mean, but you got to remember what does it saying on their website? You can go to these people's website. You can go to the M website. You can go to Pfizer website, and it's telling you this is technology. It's not like the regular flu vaccine where they're taking a strand of that particular flu and they're combining it to make this vaccine for you to take. They're not using any piece of this C19 to make this vaccine. It's new technology. What do you mean
because of how it attacks the cells? I think what they mean for technology, I can be wrong, but I think what they mean as far as technology is how they've put this together in order to reverse, or I don't know, like counter what COVID does in our cells.
It's what it does is it creates the spike protein. That's all it does.
Okay. And so is that needed do you need a piece of that COVID to do that in the cell? Like I know what you're saying as far as the flu vaccination. It's like that they use, you take it in the labs and you say, okay, I'm gonna use this to figure out how this manipulates the cells, and then we're gonna add something to counter it. I think when they say technology, like you said, they're doing something different technology wise, where they're not using any blueprints of the actual virus in order to counter it or prevent it.
But you said they can't. But the Johnson & Johnson doesn't do that. Johnson & Johnson took a piece of it.
I didn't say they can't. I said I don't think it's working that way.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't, because my understanding of the C virus is that this is something new that's occurring in the cells, which makes it different. And then I wouldn't think they would be able to use it.
But how? But that goes back to my question. How is it new when it's been around?
Well, I think certain strains have been around, but I don't know if this particular strain has been around.
We have different strains of the flu every year.
Gotcha, but I'm talking about specifically this strain. You're absolutely right. There are different types of flu. Technically, it's a flu, but what I'm saying is this is a unique one, maybe. And so maybe they didn't want to fool around with that. And Johnson & Johnson did and got their little concoction. I won't fool with Johnson & Johnson personally, but, who knows? Go ahead, fool. I know you over there can't wait. Come on. I wish I can get a screenshot of this picture right here. I'm
smiling.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing we can say because it's gonna come through 2 minutes later. That's why I'm being quiet. It's like, fuck it. I'm muted this show.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, somebody wanted us to comment on the fact that, and we talked about it earlier, Jermaine. The 12 to 15-year-olds, they've approved that.
Yeah. So, and this goes back to what we were saying earlier. I mean, every day since this happened, you'd have had something new. Somebody said something new. We can't depend on nothing that Fauci says at all. If you take any advice from this guy, then you're crazy. I've said it before. He's like asking the goddamn pilot, your pilot on the plane, hey, and the pilot comes on and say, we having a little bit of turbulence, and you look out the window and the fucking engine on fire. This is this guy. I wouldn't take any advice from this guy. One day he said, don't wear the mask. He first came out and said, you don't have to wear the mask. Then he came out and said, well, we had to say that because the first line workers had to get the mask, and we didn't want everybody going out buying the mask. So you lied to the American people. Then you get out and say, well, we got to wear 2 masks. Then you came out and said, well, you got to wear 3 masks. Now he coming out and say, well, if you got vaccinated, you don't have to wear the mask. You may not have to wear the mask. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about this guy. You muted.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
See, this is my thing, and I've made this analogy before, but I'm gonna expound on it. If I go to a doctor and I get a diagnosis that's pretty much I'm going to die, and then this doctor goes to the back room and talks to 10 doctors about my diagnosis, and 4 of those doctors agree with him, and the other 5 say, nah, he's going to be fine. He just needs to do this, and this. And that doctor comes back in the room with the 4 that agree with him and mutes the other 5. I see that as a problem. And that's exactly what we're dealing with now. For as many doctors that's out here vouching for what's going on, there's a bunch of other ones that's saying, no, this isn't true. And that for me is the problem. That's why I can't believe anything that's being said, because it's not fair based on the censorship. And as soon as you say anything against what they're saying, you get banned, you get blocked. When the hell has that ever happened? In history, when did that ever happen, especially with something like this? Never. You always want to hear from different doctors. You want to. That's the whole thing about getting an opinion from a doctor. If I'm not mistaken, I always say get your doctors a trial and error. This shit is. I mean, it's whatever. Like right.
But what makes my
we in the thick of this shit. But I just and I always this. Go ahead, man. Cause y'all know my shit fucked up.
No, I was going to say what you said. What makes, if I'm a doctor, I done spent 10, 12, 20 years in school. What makes my degree and my doctorate less than somebody else that's on mainstream media? And if I say something different, so that discredits me, that don't make that's a slap in the face for me. But that's what they. Yeah, but that's what they're doing, because if you're on CNN, MSNBC, Fox, all these mainstream, and you're saying, "Oh, this, and this," and then I can't get on CNN, but I can my only platform is YouTube or Facebook, and I get out and I put out a message that's going against what you just said, then I'm called you're called a conspiracy theory. You're not a real doctor. That's what's happening to a lot of real doctors that are saying that the science that they're using or saying is wrong. So,
yeah, I totally agree. I'm back on the whole fact that things need to be transparent so that people can make rational decisions one way or the other. In other words, things shouldn't just be so one-sided where they're pushing for everybody to get it. I think personal thoughts, you've got to show everything. And it's not for the, again, a lot of people are like, oh, when are we going to get back to being normal? And I want to travel. I want to do this. I want to do that. Time and place for everything. We didn't ask for this. It happened. So I feel like they need to be supplying us with transparency in the media, social media, everywhere. To be honest with you, I don't have a problem with them pushing the agenda for people to get it. If you want to get it, get it. If that's going to make you feel better, do it. But what I do not want is the agenda pushed on people who's not with it, who's making their own decisions, rational decisions based on science, based on their beliefs and how they feel, because they see both sides of the spectrum. That's my thing.
But you're exactly right. But when because they have not been transparent, you open up the door for conversations like this. You open up somebody to question you when you're not transparent, or when you're blatantly lying. You open yourself up for questioning. You open yourself up for this shit. So. Yeah.
And to me, that's what brings to fruition the whole conspiracy theories and people with this. I'm not going to dispel any conspiracy theory or whatever. I listen to everything. But at the end of the day, I want to make a rational decision for myself.
So, and this is a question for anybody. So how would you feel of knowing, okay, this many people got the jab, but this many people died from the jab. Now, if you heard that on CNN, somebody watching that can say, well, they can make a rational decision and say, I probably want to stay away from that. You know what I'm saying? If I know this X amount of people died from the damn shit, But if you don't put it on, if you don't put up how many people died from this shit, now you leaving, so you trying to make me believe ain't nobody died from some experimental shit that ain't been really tested no damn way. You tell me ain't nobody died. We see the goddamn commercials. We see the
people died.
Look, we see the
have
commercials
died from all types of vaccinations. You know that,
bro.
right?
Bro, I know this, but I'm saying we see the commercials at night. Everybody been up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You done seen the damn commercial saying, if you took such and such and you have had this problem and somebody died from this problem.
Mesothelioma. Remember I brought that up before, that mesothelioma.
Exactly. So if you seeing that commercial, then you know. And matter of fact, I think Killer Mike, he said this on one of his interviews a long, long time ago. And he was talking about, he said he was sitting next to a doctor or either a pharmacist on the plane. And the pharmacist told him, he said, if you see a drug that they just put out on the market, he said, do not take that. He said, it's for testing. He said, do not take that. I have to find that interview that Killer Mike said that on. But he said, do not take that drug. He said, that's where you see these damn commercials from.
And keep in mind, some of these drugs are FDA approved. Most of them are. If they're advertising in that regard of pharmaceuticals, they're FDA approved. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just like this. We're unplugged, and all I'm saying is, get your information and see both sides. Look at both sides. I'm not saying that the V is killing a whole lot of people and this, that, and the third, but don't be so blind and ignorant to the fact that it has affected some people.
Yeah. All right. Well,
what you were saying?
I think this is a good way to segue to end the show tonight. Having a lot of issues going on, so we're at 8:30. Didn't want to stay too long. We appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll see you guys for the weekend review on Saturday or Sunday. Well, yeah. Saturday.
We'll do it Saturday.
Somebody likes to rest on Sunday.
I unplug on Sundays, y'all. That's my definite unplug day.
So we appreciate y'all tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and stay unplugged.
Free your mind. Good night, y'all.